Are your phones not ringing like they used to? Do you have too many open slots on your calendar? It sounds like you need Big Bang Marketing, Mike Crow's #1 inspection-generating marketing system for home inspectors. Discover how to systematically generate home inspections again and again. Plus, right now, when you try out the Big Bang Marketing System, you also get a list of other business building bonuses like additional monthly resources, monthly group coaching calls, and 2 bonus tickets to Mike's next in-person home inspector mastermind meeting where you can see firsthand how Mike's own home inspection business operates. So what are you waiting for? Go to coachblueprint.com/go today and transform your business with the power of Big Bang Marketing. That's coachblueprint.com/go.
Hi, this is Mike Crow, and I run a home inspection business. In fact, I've run a couple of home inspection businesses. The true joy for me, though, has been helping literally thousands of home inspectors build really solid home inspection businesses as well. We can help a single-man operation be able to do over $300,000 a year, maybe all the way up to $400,000 a year as a single inspector operation. Even better for me is the 80-plus companies that we have helped be able to build million-dollar home inspection businesses. I would like to help you be able to do the same thing. One of the most important pieces of numbers that everybody lies to you about, and it's not that they lie to you, it's just that they don't really understand things. So one of the things that I hear on a regular basis is, I can't afford to do that because I only get $300, $400, $500 for an inspection. And I can't afford to spend $1,000 to get an inspection that, obviously the cost is more than the inspection. Why would you do that? That's what holds so many people back. So we're getting ready to go through some very fun and very interesting numbers. And I like to call this section the lifetime value of a referral. Now, I had to have a coach show this to me like 6, 7, 8, 10 times, okay? Because I love numbers and I love going through numbers. And if you have to listen to this more than once, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Or you can listen to it once and go, hey, Mike said that. I got it. I believe it. I don't have to go through it that tight. You do it either way. Some of us are, there are some of us as home inspectors that we like crunching numbers 20 different directions. And I'm getting ready to give you a bunch of numbers. And you crunch them all you want, all right? I've been through this so many times that once I figured it out, I understood that I could do things that my competition wasn't willing to do to get the business. And it's a kind of a super cool thing. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. Listen carefully. The more money you can spend, the more you're going to run your competition into the ground. Now, see, everybody wants to tell you how little to spend. I want to tell you how much you want to spend. All right, so everybody wants to tell you, oh, wow, you can't spend $100 on that. You can't spend $300 on that. And then one of the biggest lies that I've ever heard out there is, oh, we only make this much profit on an inspection, therefore we can't afford to do X. I just want you to understand, that's why I'm running a $3 million home inspection business when the other guys out there are running maybe $150,000 to $200,000 a year thinking they're doing outstanding. You need to understand some of this. So let's take it through this. Now, in the beginning, when I start asking people what their average price inspections are, there's somebody in the room goes, oh, I get $1,000 an inspection. Isn't that wonderful? But that's not average, okay? And then I start working through the numbers, and the numbers have gone up over the last 2 decades, 20 years, and so that's good. However, I still run across people that their average cost, their average fee for an inspection is $300. We're going to run this whole thing through. Are you ready for this? As if your inspection was only $300. Now, if your inspection is $500 or more, I'm just going to tell you this all gets so much better, and I'm going to let you crunch those numbers if you want. I'll give you a couple of clues to it, but let's say your average inspection is $500. Let's play this game with 300 though. So the average fee or the average cost for an inspection on an average home, all right, is like $300. By the way, my average for our company is well over $500, and we do $1,000 inspections all the time. And one of the things we're going to help you do is get to more money per inspection. One of the biggest things we see an increase in with people that we're coaching is people going from the lower side of an average fee to a much better average fee. And we love that. Now, the number of years an agent will use you on average is 3. All right? And I want to say this very carefully because one of the things that I had somebody ask me one time was, hey, Mike, agents come and go so fast. And that is absolutely correct. And they also move up, or they also move from working with buyers to listings. Because if you hear some agents talk about it, they put only a percentage of the time into a listing that they would put into taking care of a buyer. Now, sometimes you'll hear them say it's the same, but I have not seen that experience. What I've seen is that the buyer's agent will probably take, I'm just gonna blow a couple numbers out here, take 20 hours for a buyer, and it's probably 100, but take 20 hours for a buyer, right? And over here, a listing might take 5 hours. I'm just telling you that's the kind of difference. So an agent that has been out in the field for a while starts going, I can make the same kind of money as a listing agent, and with some of the new rules and things, maybe more, as a listing agent as I could as a buyer's agent, and it takes me only a percentage of the time. So just know that the number of years that an agent will work with you is on average 3. And this is incredibly important. So 3, okay? Don't miss that. Now, some people go, well, is it even worth to work with those agents then? Absolutely. I'm going to tell you a big secret. Those agents that move from inspections, from buyers to listings, those become like really good agents. And they almost always still have 1 or 2 buyers. And a lot of times nowadays, those agents build a team and they have buyers agents underneath them. And they're training those agents to work with buyers so they can work with listings. And those agents are saying, okay, who do I do inspections with? How do I get the inspection done? Who do I tell my folks to use for an inspection? And if they've used you in the past, they will pass your name down to the other side. It's kind of fun because we have this thing we call the Ireland giveaway, all right? And one of the things, it's one of our unique selling points that helps us get presentations and things, and we can teach you more about it later. Ask me about it at some point. However, we had one agent that had a team of like 10 people, and like 6 of them are buyer's agents, and every time we do an inspection, we would send them an entry into that. Well, we were sending the entries to his agents, and he said, no, I am the team leader here. You send those entries to me. I want to go to Ireland. So I just want you to know, nowadays there are more and more team approaches out there. And so even because the agent moves up to listings doesn't mean that they won't have buyer's agents underneath them. And I'll give you another example. I had an agent who worked with us as a buyer's agent, and then became a listing agent, and then he bought a RE/MAX office. And that RE/MAX office had like 3, 4 agents in it. And then he bought another RE/MAX office that had like 6 or 7 agents in it. And then he bought another RE/MAX office that had like 7 to 10 agents in it. And then he bought another RE/MAX office. Because of how much he liked us when we did inspections for his buyers, he had me personally come in, this was a long time ago, had me personally come in and do presentations at 4 different RE/MAX offices every 3 months. He wanted to see us succeed so bad because he liked us so much, and he told his agents, he would get up in front of his agents and go, look guys, if you're using anybody but Mike's company, all right, you're making a mistake. You use whoever you want, but if you're not using Mike's company, then, you know, that's a problem and that's a mistake. So fix that, all right? And I'm just sitting there going, hell yeah, I like this guy, okay? I will never forget him. Me and him go so far back. It's kind of fun. So the average number of years an agent will use you, though, is 3. Now, I say that, and there are some agents out there that are still working with buyers. Oh, and by the way, when the economy starts sliding backwards, those listing agents a lot of times will slide back into buyers' positions or buyer agents, okay? So, but the average is 3. And so the number of inspections that those good buyer's agents can work with you on, they'll probably bring you on average 12 inspections a year. And don't get me wrong, I have our top 20 agents that are bringing us 30, 40, 50, 60 inspections a year. I mean, we have one that's bringing us over 200 a year. And all of it starts with getting this done. But your average number of inspections per year per agent is 12. And then one of the biggest secrets is that the agents that you have should help you get more agents. I want to say that very carefully again. Whatever agent you have working with you need to be helping you get more agents. And a lot of times people don't understand that. They think they want to get an agent so they can get more inspections. I want to get an agent so I can get more agents. And if you understand that, that becomes incredibly important. I'm going to say it in Maven talk. I want to get a Maven that not only sends me inspections, but I want to get a Maven that will help me get more Mavens as well. Because sometimes it's an agent, sometimes it's an attorney, insurance company. There are like 15 plus different Mavens out there. So I don't want you to get stuck on agents, but in this particular example, that's what we're doing. So if the number of inspections per year for an agent is 12, and the number of referrals from those agents that start using you would be 1, okay, then that's pretty cool. Out of the number of agents that they refer to you that stick with you, that's going to be about 20%, 1 out of 5, all right? And so now it gets exciting. If you're doing an average of, 12 jobs, 12 inspections per year with an agent, and your average fee is only $300, well, that agent is giving you approximately $3,600 per year in business. And people go, oh my gosh, and you want me to spend $1,000 on that agent to do this and this and this? It's your choice, and some of those agents, I understand, will tell you they use you a lot and then they don't, so figure that out too. But now let's take that agent that's going to use you on average for 3 years, that $3,600 now turns into $10,800. So what would you spend to get one agent that on average is going to send you $10,000 plus per year? See, this is where everything starts changing. So when I tell people, oh, we're sending an agent to Ireland every year, and that costs us somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000, they get like, oh my God, I can't afford to do something like that. When you start breaking it down per inspection and how much one agent or all the agents that are working with me, it's only a couple of dollars for me per inspection. So you can do bigger things than your competition. Now, out of those agents that they refer to you, only about 0.6 or 2/3 approximately, let's just use 0.6 as a nice round number, all right, will actually probably stick with you and refer you other agents on top of that, or start using you with their business as well in that direction. So what that means is the gross sales for total referrals from that one agent and the agents that start working with you based off of they refer you 1 and 20% actually use you comes down to 0.6 that are actually become another referring agent. So let me get this straight. And let me make sure I get this straight for you. So they refer you over and over again out of the 3 years and everything, and only 20% of those people actually start working with you, so that becomes a good referring agent. And out of those agents, some of those agents are going to refer you more agents as well. So that's where the 0.6 comes in. But let's take a look at this. Now, instead of the $3,600, all right, you're now working with a gross sales of total referrals of $6,480. Again, at 300 average. And I'm going to tell you what the 500 average is here in a minute. Going to blow your mind, okay? So the total value of a satisfied agent, when you figure out the number of referrals they send you and how much business comes from that, is $17,280. So not only are you getting all the business from that agent, hopefully, and when I say all the business, you're not getting 100% of their business. In fact, the 12 is really based off the fact that a lot of agents are doing 30, 40, and you may only be getting a piece of that business. And the more you can get of that, even better, right? Because we have some agents that we are their only inspection company that they refer. And there are some agents out there that hand out 3 names, and some agencies or agents hand out a list. Well, that's fine too. But if they're still giving you the 12, all the way at $300, then you're looking at over 3 years, $10,800. Now when you build in, if you get those agents to refer you, when you get those agents to refer you, now you're looking at an additional $6,400 for a total of $17,280. Now, this is where it gets fun. Multiply that times 2. Now it's $34,560. Times 5, it's $86,400. Times 10, pretty easy number, $172,800. Times 25, $432,000. And then times 100, $1.728. Which by the way, ironically, the first company that I had after I sold it and worked with them for a while, at the end of the time, before I resigned and left, we did $1.7 million. And this is how we did it, because of the referrals and because of getting the agents to use us on a regular basis. So let's just put this in proper perspective. At $300 an agent, that agent's actually worth to you when you get them to refer you over and over and over again, and only a percentage of those agents use you, okay? In the next 3 years, if you get all that said and done properly, you're looking at $17,280 in the next 3 years from that one agent. Now, what would you be willing to spend to get an agent like that? And don't be trapped by the rest of the world out there going, how little can I spend? I don't think that way. The 1%ers don't think that way. I think, how much do I need to spend? How much can I spend to be able to get as many agents like that that will refer me? And that's why we're doing over $3 million a year in business. Now, let me show you something very fun. This number right here, $500 per inspection. So you rerun all of these numbers, and when you understand them, then this actually turns out to 2.88. So 2.88 million. All right. So if your average price is 500, you're not looking at 1.7, you're looking at 2.8. That's an extra whole $1 million. All because you're putting the big bang marketing into place. And people go, well, why would agents refer you like this? And it really comes down to really 3 very important things that I like to kind of mention to you real quick. They have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you, and then they will refer you. Now, we've all heard, I hope you've heard, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. I've been saying that for 30 plus years, right? And every coach I have at some point says, Mike, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. And by the way, if you don't have that like burnt into your memory somewhere, write it down, post it in your car, put it on, my dad used to carry little 3x5 index cards, write it on that, put it in your pocket, and every time you take it out, you go, know you, like you, and trust you, okay? Because that's what the big bang marketing does. See, people tell you, oh, make phone calls. Sure, you can make phone calls, and they might know you. Congratulations. But they probably won't like you. Who likes getting sales phone calls, right? And they do work. I'm just going to tell you, they do work. And at some point, they could get to like you and trust you. But the big bang marketing is designed, and I like to tell people, it all started with a chocolate ball. People get to see you for week in, week out, or get to see your chocolate ball week in and week out for 8 weeks at least. And by the way, we have some people running it for years because it works so well. You put it in there, They're going to get to know you because you have a chocolate ball in there. They go, oh, chocolate ball. Oh, there's the name of the guy that brought that in, and your card's sitting there. And then they come in and they grab another one. Oh, and at a certain point, within 3 or 4 weeks, they like you because, man, chocolate's there every week, okay? And then you come in and you do a presentation at their office. And when you do the presentation, they get to, oh, that's the guy with the chocolate ball. They get to know you even better at a deeper level. They get to like you even better at a deeper level. And now, after they've heard you speak a little bit, they get to trust you. And they're willing to try you on an inspection. And after they see you do the inspections the way we teach you to do inspections, okay, they're going to trust you. And they're going to be going, my gosh, where has this been all my life? You know, there was this one little convenience store where my wife liked to get gas. And my wife literally drugged me in there and said, you've got to see this place. Because she had gotten to know them, she'd gotten to like them, and she'd gotten to trust them so much, she wanted to make sure I used their service. And what she liked was they had such a wide array of drinks. Because, you know, we used to stop and get a Coke or get this. And in the old days, it used to be, oh, they carried Pepsi products or they carried Coke products. And sometimes they didn't carry Diet Dr. Pepper, which my wife liked a lot. Or they carried this. And this place had like 20 different versions of coffee. I like coffee, okay? And they had 5 different versions or 6 different versions of tea. And they had every imaginable soft drink, basically, that you could do. And my wife likes a cup with ice and, you know, so that she doesn't have to, you know, mix it up and everything. She got to know them because she went in. She got to like them because of the way they did their service and everything. And then she trusted them so much, she was willing to refer me, and I guarantee you she probably referred a dozen others to that very type of store. And of course, they have blossomed all over the place because of their service. Now, when you do the kind of service that we teach you, like in Report Blueprint and other resources that we have for you, and the small things that we teach you to do, once they use you, man, it is going to blow their minds, and they're going to go, where have these guys been my entire life? How is it that I've been in a real estate agent for 10 years and I've never had this kind of service? And at that point, they're going to know you, like you, trust you, and they're going to want to refer you to everybody. And when you stand up at a presentation and say, by the way, I know we're working with a couple of agents in here. How are we doing for you? They're going to stand up and tell the world, you're the best thing since sliced bread. That's how it all starts. It all started with a chocolate ball. Okay? Walt Disney used to say, I hope we never forget it all started with a mouse, right? I like to say, I hope we never forget it all started with a chocolate ball. And then by the time you go through all the pieces, the 8 weeks of the Big Bang Marketing, and you understand these kind of numbers, you understand that you're willing to pay a little bit more to be able to get those referrals, get those agents in the door, your business starts just taking exponential growth. Well, that's how we start, and that's where we're at the moment. I hope the numbers were a little funner for you than they were for me the first time, because the first time it was boring and hard. I've tried to make it a little more interesting for you, but the numbers are the numbers. Just know they're real, and know that you can do them, especially when you set it into place with the Big Bang Marketing. Talk to you again soon.